Hello friends, welcome to this new episode of the Indian Military Anecdotes. Friends, we are indeed very lucky today to have with us Lieutenant Colonel Vijay Kharkar, an octogenarian officer, and that's why I said we are indeed very privileged to have him with us on the show. Welcome, Colonel Kharkar.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, just for the benefit of our viewers, let me quickly recount the number of wars since the independence, that is 1947. So, the first one was in 1948 when Pakistan, in the form of Mujahideens, actually attacked Srinagar. Then came the second one, which was the liberation of Goa. Goa liberation was the second one in 1961. And then we had, in a quick succession, a war with China, that 1962 war with China. Then came the war with Pakistan in 1965. Then came the war for liberation of Bangladesh, again with Pakistan in 1971. And then, of course, the last one in the count was the Kargil operation in 1999. So, barring 1948, when he was not in the army, and 1999, when he had already retired from the army, he's seen all the other conflicts. So that's how it's a very, very special privilege to have him with us on this show. Today, he's going to narrate to us event that happened when he participated operations of Goa liberation. So let's hear from him. Colonel Kharkar, please, we are very keen to be hearing that story from you. Please go ahead, sir. Thank you.
It was December 1961. It is my privilege to narrate some instances during the Goa liberation operation. I was the youngest and the junior officer in the unit. And suddenly I find a lot of activity going on in the unit and nobody would tell me what was happening. A lot of stores were packed and preparations for move were done. I was ordered that you will be the OC train, officer commanding of the train, special train, which will take all our vehicles as per the plan. And the unit, along with some small vehicles, jeeps, etc., moved out by one or two special trains from Allahabad railway station. I didn't know where and what was the aim of this operation. I was left with the adjutant, one Captain Koshi, a very fine gentleman, and he was supposed to be guiding me. Mm-hmm. So both of us were going to the railway station and we were told, no, your train has not yet come. Through the day, we kept on trying and finally at 9 o'clock at night, we got a message saying that, well, your train is ready. Mm-hmm. So both of us rushed to the railway station. We had a small langar detachment, that is one or two cooks and some helpers.
Right.
The drivers of all vehicles, some mechanics, and some administrative staff, one or two JSTOs, and I was the only officer. Mm. Now, telling you very frankly, I didn't know what OC train was supposed to do. I had no clue. So, I had planned that we will have a halt at some place for about 2 to 3 hours, cook our food, feed our men, and then move forward.
Right.
So,
where did you start from?
Allahabad.
Allahabad, right.
Allahabad. Then we are going south.
Right.
And I caught up the guard and I asked him, I said, where do we have a halt for lunch?
Right.
He said, so what halt? He said, we have already given you a covered wagon. Cook your food in that. I requested him to give me another 5 minutes. There was mad rush taking all our rations and vegetables and everything to the covered wagon, including firewood, the kerosene stoves. It was just dumped. The cooks jumped inside and the train moved.
So how many total troops were there with you? How many
must have been about 50, 60 people.
I see.
And that is how it continued, the lunch, the tea, the dinner. And en route, we passed the railway station, which was my home station. And some of the boys knew, hey, Lieutenant Saab, yahan pe rehta hai kahin.
This is Pune?
No, Srirampur, Belapur.
Oh, I see. The place where you were.
Yeah, my father was working in the sugar factory about 5 miles from the railway station.
I see.
So there were a lot of people, standing in the doorway, peeping out of the windows. And when we passed the station, I showed them the lights of our sugar factory where my father was working.
Right.
They felt as if they had visited my home. And we moved via dawn. We came to Pune in the morning. And we were on platform number 6, which was the furthest away from the station master's office.
Mm.
So I told the JCO, I said, I will go and find out where we are expected to go.
Mm.
So I went across to platform number 1, met the station master. I said, I am the OC train of train number so and so. He said, so what are you doing here? I said, what do you mean? He said, sir, your train has left.
Oh my God.
So I said, what do you mean my train has left? Which way has it gone?
Where has it gone?
Where has it gone? So he said, sir, it has moved towards Kirki. So I ran out of the railway station, got hold of a taxi, and started chasing the train.
Oh.
As we came near Bopodi, the College of Military Engineering, I saw one of my friends, 1.5 years senior to me, going on his motorcycle, going into the CME for his classes. So I
Right.
shouted his name, jumped out of the taxi, and caught hold of him. He said, what are you doing? And what is all this dress and weapon and whatnot? मैंने कहा यार बात करो. I want to jump on your motorcycle and chase that bloody train. He says, कहाँ जा रहे हो? I said, I don't know. So we finally caught up with the train at Dehu Road siding, which was inside the ordnance units there. After that, I ran to the train and he ran back to the CME to attend his classes. Wonder what happened, whether he got any firing or what. Then we unloaded all and we were getting ready. So we were provided with lunch there and we were told to move. I said, move where? They said, you got to go south.
Oh, they still didn't tell you the destination.
Didn't tell me what the destination was. Convoy was asked to move. And we were going south towards Bangalore. These vehicles which were loaded in the train and unloaded at Dehu Road, they formed up a convoy at Dehu Road and started moving towards Bangalore.
I see. Okay.
Then we landed up at a place called Karad. Then we had made some temporary arrangements for food. We took this cooked food in the vehicle and landed up at Kolhapur. That is where huge area was being occupied by various units and various convoys
Oh, I
coming
see.
in from different directions, converging there. So we provided the food to our boys there. Then we were told you start moving along this road towards Belgaum.
Belgaum.
So we landed up in Belgaum somewhere by about 3 o'clock or so in the morning. We didn't know where to go. There were no lamps and there were no street signs or anything. We parked the vehicles in a line along the highway and went to sleep. In the morning, then, so the convoy was made ready. All the drivers, everybody was in the vehicles. And then we moved over to the unit A. And there I came to know that we are going into Goa for liberation of Goa.
Oh, I see.
Till then, I knew nothing. We were then supposed to go in via Savantwadi
I see.
on that axis. Then we sort of established a camp and we were then moving the next morning. We had an officer from the engineer degree course, which was closed. He was again 1.5 years senior to me, late Colonel Ravi Mishra. And himself and me, we were driving our jeep and platoon with about 25, 30 people. We were following. We landed up somewhere near a place called Assanora. And we found, a lot of people with garlands and whatnot. They stopped us and started garlanding. So Ravi Mishra suddenly realized, he said, damn it, we are the first army people coming here.
Really? Oh,
Even
wow.
the infant, even the infant hasn't gone ahead of us. So we just didn't know what to do. He said we've got to backtrack because we don't know what we are in for. We don't know what are the op plans for this place. So we sort of turned around, went back some distance, few meters, and then we found the infantry column going in and whatnot. Then we followed up to Assanora camp, where bridge was blown off by the Portuguese by putting two truckloads of explosives along with trucks under the
I
bridge
see.
and blowing them off. And as the infantry was passing through, there was huge crowd on that demolished bridge. When we landed up there, I was given orders, try and make some arrangements for vehicles to cross. So with 20 odd people, what could I do? So I
Hmm.
told my JCO, I said, you go and talk to these people who are standing on the bridge. एक lecture दे देना उनको कि we want their help. And he gave such a Josha lecture. People came down like ants.
Wow.
They were bringing in stones from this demo bridge and sandbag filling and all sorts of things were being done.
Hmm.
And my sirs were arranging them so that vehicles could cross over.
I see.
And a very peculiar sight I saw a Christian father whose age
Christian
was above
father.
80
Okay.
years,
Okay.
and he would pick up a stone on his head, or somebody else would give the stone on his head.
Oh.
With a shaking neck, he would bring it and dump it in front of me.
Oh my God.
So I told him, Father, why are you doing this? He said, Son, let me
Mhm.
contribute. So I was reminded of the squirrel of the Ram Setu.
Yeah, it is exactly that.
Then we did manage to complete that. My Jeep was the first to go over it. Then one or two of our vehicles went across. And then we moved forward. As we went across, there was a village where people stopped us and said, some distance away from here, there is a Portuguese camp. We found the Portuguese camp with a Portuguese flag in there. So we quickly went in. They already sort of, evacuated and run away. And my boys went from room to room, searching, checking, and all that. Then we brought the flag that was fluttering. It was already in tatters. We brought it down, folded it, and I put it in my haversack.
I see.
When these boys went around all the rooms, they found a lot of pinups behind the doors.
I
So
see.
I showed as if I have not seen them. So I told them, I said, take what you like.
Okay. So they
And
had
then,
their own fun.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then we moved forward, and our unit had established another point somewhere else, and we joined there. So that is how this operation
Fantastic.
went off for me.
Fantastic. This is such a great narration that you did, sir, for us. And like I said, it's a matter of pride for us to have you on this show. And so I think there are quite a few takeaways from the story that you narrated. Something that I can think of is as a second lieutenant, once you're ordered, it's only a do or die, not to question why.
Do or
So,
die. Yes.
and second, for a second lieutenant, probably ignorance is bliss. So
True.
probably you do things that you feel right, and they thankfully turn out right. Third one, of course, is during the war. You were a second lieutenant, but even otherwise, it is the army shares its information only on need to know basis.
Correct.
So that is why you knew only as much as you ought to know, nothing
Ought to
more,
know.
nothing less. And
Nothing
that's the
less.
way the army functions. So I think these two or three aspects, if you think there's something else that you could add, please go ahead, sir.
Incidentally, the flag that we captured there, I still have the flag and a set of tools with me even today.
Right. So thank you very much, Colonel Kharkar. Thank you very much for being on our show. Thanks a lot and all the
Thank you
best to you.
so
Take care,
much.
sir.